They got to be sabotaging this game at this point. I don't even know what to say. So Call of Duty update says minor update has gone live with bug fixes, including one to address players crashing on loading screen. So you go into the patch notes, they're here. Obviously they're pretty extensive. We got some bug fixes, fix an issue where loading screens were causing instances of freezing and crashing, fix an issue with the bullet trajectory on the AMR mod for whatever. Fixing an issue resurgence players were dying out of bounds, would lose functionality of their field upgrades and kill streaks. Fix an issue where models weren't visible for ammo boxes, self-revives, and throwing knives. Fix an issue where players would not have a death icon when dying in red light, green light. Cool, whatever, LTM. Cares. So they gas up that there's this update coming, right? It says this was around the holiday time. It says as we approach the end of the year, we'd like to share some insights. They go through a bunch of stuff, and then it says many of these improvements will ship shortly after the holiday. In the meantime, we wish you a joyful holiday season. Cool. They got to take the time off, whatever. Obviously that's like part of their contract, so it is obligations. I believe that's how that works. So many of these improvements will ship shortly after holiday. Charlie and Tel chiming in. When is that, right? Because we're getting really close to season 2 with it only coming out on the 28th. So we got about what, 15 days or something like that, 2 weeks. So this wasn't shortly after the holiday. Most people kind of expected around the 6th to 8th, the 10th, somewhere around there that we'd get an update that solved a lot of issues. Not all of them. That's unrealistic, right? Like we expect that. But then these updates are even breaking the current iteration of the game. So right when the update goes out, there's not even area to play anything but quads. But then like an hour later, they end up fixing it. And then you do have the playlist options to choose the different ones for Resurgence, in addition to the quad. So they went and changed it after the fact, right? So the Resurgence rotation gets added. You can see it's under Plunder Quads, but on this one, it's not there. So things went out of their way to get bugged out. And Warzone Ranked also ended up with some issues. So you end up with ranked play where there's players now under the map, buy station issues where you couldn't buy stuff, and then there's other things going on. So it's kind of like, it feels like there's intentional. It has to be intentional at this point. There's no way you mess up this bad. It would have been almost better to see nothing than to see an update that essentially does nothing and makes things worse, right? Like that's a big problem. And then we also have Greg Rysdor says Friday was his last day, so I don't know if he was let go or what. But MW3 has been basically the best game in the past 7 years or something like that. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, why the heck is he walking away? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like he did a lot of good work. Having talked to him in person before, he seems like a chill dude. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's weird. So what happens with the Sledgehammer side? I know there's still a lot of great people over there, but it's like he kind of took over a lot of responsibility during World War II, during the second half when things actually started getting fixed. So it's kind of weird thing to see that happening around this time. And it's like, is this the first of many where people are going to be stepping down and they're changing the structure over there or whatever the case is? Because MW3, like I said, has probably been one of the highlights of the past 5 or 6 years or so. Of game content, live service part of it, multiplayer. I know zombies wasn't everyone's flavor, but it was there. And then how they've helped out with the elements of Warzone that he mentions in his tweet here, where he goes through like the different work he did for Call of Duty, were some of the better parts of the Warzone stuff. So it's like he contributed, and I don't know what the deal is with that. Then we get Verdansk is reportedly returning in Warzone Season 3. This is something that that was already kind of rumored. The weird part is that this ends up putting it in April, right? A lot of us thought March, so I don't know if we're going to get Season 2 will be shorter to accommodate that and make it sooner, or maybe the Season 3 is kind of when it was always going to be, or however that part works. So this is reportedly coming out. It's reportedly Warzone during Season 3, which will be around mid-April. According to the Ghost of Hope, who is active... Oh, dang, I didn't know Hope. I missed that part. Talking formerly Twitter, Hope replied, and someone is asking him to leak Verdansk to wake them up. Hope replied, Season 3, referring to Season 3. Okay, cool. So that's good to know. They heard that Verdansk would return December 2023, which said that they did move directly access of OG Fortnite, whatever. So there's that. So now that's even coming out a month later. Me personally, like, it gives the game a chance to kind of get their stuff together, because it's pretty bad, like the game right now. Obviously, there's people that can play it. They don't play for long periods of time. They can enjoy it. They appreciate what the version of the game is. Personally, I don't. So it is what it is, right? Like, I'm still covering the content that is available. Like, I go 9 days without uploading, 20 days without uploading, probably my longest stretch. This is probably the driest Warzone content has ever been. And like I said, I can repeatedly put out videos saying the game sucks or whatever, but this is pretty embarrassing, right? Like, we have this issue where they come through and nothing has happened. And again, communication, it comes back to communication being another issue, that they're just not addressing things as fast as they should. And then they're also not delivering, right? For a multi-billion-dollar company, there's way too many issues back to back to back to back. Even if it was just the holiday and they took time off, it wouldn't be leading to issues like this. Whereas I end up watching the Path of Exile little podcast yesterday, and the devs are completely honest, transparent, open, probably one of the best companies in the business, GGG, Grinding Gear Games, open, transparent. Even though people enjoy, like, and they develop trust. And obviously when you get to a big company like Activision, being able to micromanage everything that comes out about the game, you end up with some issues. So I think it's pretty unfortunate where the game is right now. I still just been vibing. Hopefully you guys are enjoying other games. I know a lot of people are enjoying other games. Obviously, on PlayStation, they've swapped over to Fortnite being number one. COD HQ is still there, and then somehow Grand Theft Auto Remastered. And then we got Rivals, 2K, Roblox. There's people playing different things. COD HQ is still number one on Xbox. I don't know if Game Pass has a huge part to do with that, but still over Fortnite, free to play, and Roblox, right? So it's kind of weird. Xbox people got it twisted over there. And then on Steam, it continues to fall because Steam has a huge library. Game of the Year, Balatro, potential Game of the Year was there. Path of Exile 2, which like I played almost 300 hours on. Rocket League, been around forever. Warframe, Power World had their update. And then you kind of got Baldur's Gate 3 still, which is kind of crazy for a non-live service game there for Baldur's Gate. So, unfortunate. It feels like sabotage at this point. I don't know what else to say. It's really sad that they've gotten to this point. I guess we got to wait a couple weeks for a actual update for Season 2. Let me know what you guys are playing. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day.